And those more generic amplifiers from Brazil. I don't know if you can or need to mention the names. What type of speaker do they use? I'm not talking about mid-range, okay?
So today, for example, the big speaker industries and such, amplifiers that use speakers in combos, you have a lot of Chinese stuff.
And there the Chinese is basically this.
No, you have, if you want to have one made, it's that story, right? If you want to have an iPhone made in China, you can, but you're not going to make, a high quality speaker which costs more to put in a super cheap combo to place at the butcher shop's door, right? To keep announcing, you can't, right? It doesn't add up. So what is made in China for these cheaper combos and such? It's paper, just regular. Yeah, usually it's something more common, right? Made there to solve the problem, right? It plays. Now how? That's the big question, right?
Understand. So you're indeed saying that the cone, the quality of the material, actually has a considerable impact?
Totally. Totally. It's a combination of factors, right? As I always see people who are luthiers talking about this, right? What do I have? The wood aspect, the pickups, the hardware, all of it, right? It's a combination that in the end will deliver the level of quality you desire. If you neglect this in the main part, which is the cone, it's difficult to achieve.
I understand. So the larger percentage is in the quality of the cone.
Yes, I believe so.
You believe so? All right. And here in the middle is also, what do you call this here? This part here?
It's the cap, dust cap, or protector.
Is it also the same material?
No. Usually it's a different material. This one, in this case, is regular cellulose.
Regular cellulose.
It's not hemp like the cone.
By the way, you'll explain more about this material here later, right?
Yes.
Because it's kind of controversial, folks. It's a controversy if you don't stop to study and understand it better, right? From the outside, it seems because it's made from the, and not from the stem of the plant, which is marijuana, right?
Yes, it's hemp, right? Which is it's a material that doesn't have the active ingredient, which is in recreational marijuana. It is extracted from the stem of this plant. Often the plantations aimed at fiber extraction don't even have THC practically.
So it's because some people might think you do this for an ideological reason, and that's not the case.
No, it's a material reference that I've always liked. And I've always liked the imported speakers that already use this.
It's been used for many years.
Yes, it's been used for many years. And so it's something that wasn't done in Brazil yet. I wanted to innovate by bringing this to my products. When I thought about starting to structure the brand, really, with this speaker thing for guitars, I looked for a material that was, in quotes, unusual around here, which was something that no one was doing yet. Since it's something that, as I told you, the same type of speaker has been made for so many years, for so many decades, I wanted something different that hadn't been tried to be manufactured here yet. And then I went to look for these things. I found it interesting. What it delivers in terms of sound, especially for the guitar, I think it's sensational. They are extremely light, which is different from cellulose cones in that sense, right? You have various different types of hemp and cellulose mixtures, which is the case here anyway.
I see.
You can see that it doesn't even have the color, right?
Yes. But this one here necessarily to have this, can it be painted? Can it be painted?
Dye, that's dye.
Just dye.
It can be dye, yes. I think the charm of it is also leaving it with a different color, right? So much so that the Cannabis Rex is this color, which is the eminent speaker. The Celeste's ramp back is also this color anyway. And then you have the purple, which is something different as well, but it's hemp, right?
Okay. So, you've already explained the hemp without opening another specific parenthesis about it. Got it, folks? So there are options usually people do. What would compete with hemp in terms of, I'm not talking about quality.
So you have the conventional cones, cellulose and such, normal paper, which would be, actually the cellulose of the cone is a bit different. The fibers are longer, the guitar cone is a bit different from the others. This kind of defines the characteristic of what it will deliver. There,
In terms of frequency range. And the classic Celestian, the one that's the V30, it's made with normal cellulose, right?
That's right. I have a model in my line, which is the In Flames, and it's made with a cone that I buy from the same factory that supplies to Celestian. Today, perhaps the V30 is entirely made in China. I think they no longer buy from that factory in England. But it's a normal cellulose cone, in quotes normal, right? Because it's not a cone that will be used for another purpose, right?
Okay. So, if you take this same speaker and change the cone, from this material to common cellulose, you notice a significant difference.
Totally. It's something else. The speaker, it has a particularity, as we were discussing. Each speaker is a preset. It's an EQ, you know. This one starts from a principle of an equalization preset, which this one won't have. And this one won't have it either. I'm talking without you adjusting anything, right? They're in everything at 0, right? On flat, let's say. So, from the moment you choose the materials you're going to produce, the speaker will deliver a certain type of frequency, more or less. Or a control here, another there anyway, right? This has no end either. It's something that, you mentioned the cone, you don't even need to go far. If you change the fiber of the coil, it changes. The sound too already. Just so in the same structure.
And it's not a micro thing that only a specialist will notice, no.
That's it. You give it a go and you'll already notice. It's super clear like that. There are things that are quite difficult to capture, which you even see in its response curve, but usually when it's a drastic change, you notice it right away.
Having watched this cut from the Starling Cast, you can watch the full episode here in the video description. And take advantage, if you're a guitarist, to join the largest virtual school in Brazil, exclusive for guitarists, by clicking on the QR code. Or in the video description, I'll wait for you. There!